Good morning, everyone. Stephane Tremblay, President of the SDVoE Alliance, and I'm at the Aurora booth at Infocomm 2024 with no other than Paul Harris, President and CEO of Aurora. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning to you.
All right, so what do you have for us today? What is new? What is that we need to see with SDVoE products that you have?
Okay, so what we have here, we've been doing, as many of you know, we've been doing the SDVoE for over 10 years now, so we're proud to say that. Even before it was known as SDVoE, so we've been doing this for a really long time. So these are our third generation of products, and what we're showing here is our transceiver wall plates in 3-gang. We also have a transmitter wall plate in 2-gang, which is over there. A little spread out today. But the really big star is the Ultra. This is the most insane processor on the market where it does everything, and that is its marketing slogan. So not only does this have a full bidirectional SDVoE, so it can transmit and receive simultaneously, but it's got a full Intel up to an i7 processor with a 1 terabyte drive built into this thing. It's got a quad scaler that has the ability to do localized windowing in addition to the SDVoE windowing. It can also capture input directly into the PC. It could do 1-degree image rotation if you wanted to, contrast edge blending for side-by-side projectors, test pattern generators, it does chroma keying. In other words, it does a lot. It does way more than that, but we'll be here for a long time, and those of you who know me, I could talk for a long time. So I won't go that far overboard, but it's got a card slot on it where you could put in different cards over time that we're going to be making for it, like SDI cards, DisplayPort cards, so forth. You could de-embed. It's got dual NICs in here for the PC, as well as it's got internally dual HDMIs that feed back out to the outside world as well. It's also got Wi-Fi built into this thing too. So in other words, this is a full-blown unified communication PC that has a full-blown quad processor built into it for the scaling as well as the SDVoE transmission. So all you really need to do is once you plug this in, you pretty much have everything you need at the core of the system, and then you could just use like one of our decoder boxes. By the way, our boxes are transceivers, but they're full directional transceivers. So you could have a lot of fun with this. This is, by the way, one of the things people don't appreciate when you do a full bidirectional is in some ways it could be less than a 1 gig system depending on your typology, because you're getting an encoder and a decoder in one box. So let's say you put one behind the display. If I have an Apple TV, for example, and I put that behind the display, I could use the encode on that display, on that box that was being used for the display output to feed back into the system. So even if you're doing like a residential who loves to use distributed, you could put the gaming system back into as an encode to feed to the rest of the house while playing TV on that screen at the same time. So as long as you're taking advantage of the simultaneous direction, the unit price literally gets cut in half at that point and becomes less than a 1 gig, and then you just got the network switch and so on. And that means you're also between room to room, if you're linking up rooms, you're actually distributing on one cable both directions instead of using 2 like you might have to do on a 1 gig system. So that's really what's great about the way we're doing our ecosystem, is everything's a simultaneous transceiver.
Okay, so that sounds super interesting. It's definitely, and coming from me, it is definitely the highest of the feature-rich box ever done with SDVoE. But can you describe us an application that is perfect for that?
Oh, sure. Let's say you're doing a school project, for example, like a college. Okay, well, first off, they're going to need a PC for the room. So you got the PC already in there. Don't need a separate PC. But now you still need to hook it up to the TV. So whether you hook up one or many, you can plug in the SDVoE into the network port or directly to the TV, and then you use another box to receive the content, so that takes care of that already as well. Now, I could do other things. Now that it's inside and the PC's here and the PC can do a capture, I can now take that SDVoE feed it back into the computer, capture it up to 4K 30,444, and then either record it locally, or I could turn it into an H.264 stream or shoot it into like a Teams or a Zoom running on the actual app and then do the distance learning. So locally, I'm doing the high resolution bandwidth. On the far end, they can get the low resolution that they're doing through the Teams, or even create a secondary channel, so that way, and instead of doing this normal like with the Teams or the Zoom, usually when you're showing the content, the presenter goes small. you could do a separate feed just using a broadcast out to your website that they can link up onto, and then do a full screen of the presenter while doing the teams, for example, or vice versa with the content. And then this way, use like an Edge, for example, like an Edge browser on the far end. So let's say you're recording the content that's showing locally onto the stream. At their home, as a student, they can just use Edge to record the content that normally they can't do easily that the professor's showing. So they can see the professor full screen while seeing the content, then use Edge browser to take notes on it, do a screen capture, do whatever they need to do. So it enhances the usability in that particular case. So there's a great example for you that takes advantage of the complexity. So as complex as it sounds, it's got a beauty to it and its usability and the way it's going to make presentations better.
All right, that sounds super interesting. So what is where is your booth located at Infocomm so people can see this product, can talk to you directly?
Sure. We're at booth C8727. We're the only booth you should see, by the way. Forget about everybody else right here. We got a lot of other interesting, really cool things coming out as well. So you'll be amazed at some of the stuff we're doing here.
All right, always a pleasure, Paul. Thank you.